The message queues are similar to pipes, but they have different syntax, slightly more complicated than pipes. Pipes have a very simple way of working or implementation. So now I'm going to show you how message queues are written. So this is the code for the writer process, and it uses a number of libraries. It includes, and then it defines a constant of size 10, which is the message that we're going to send. And we are creating a structure which is the requirement of this system call, message send. Message send or message receive system call. These are two system calls which are used to send message or receive message into the message queues. And these have requirements of mentioning a data structure, which is a struct kind of data structure, which contains two data members. The first one is message type. The second one is the message text as an array, character array. And this is just a numeric value of message type. So this is just the requirement of how the message should be for being used by message send system call or message receive system call. So this is nothing. So if you know Java, Java uses similar. And in C++, if you want to declare a class, this is how you do it. It's very similar to this. So uh, the main code, you are defining a key variable, which is using a data type, which is a numeric data type, which is defined in this library, which is simply, just to keep these variables separate. Although these have very similar data type, like integer or long, but you want to keep them separate from. So this variable will be for system calls, and this may or may not be used in the system call. So uh, ftalk is you know which converts your uh, file kind of thing to key value. So you can mention a program name over here with some random number which would generate a key. That key will is again a requirement for this system call message get, which actually generates the ID for the message queue. So you use the message get with this key that you have generated in this using ftalk, and you use some constant values mentioning that you want to create the message queue and some permission values in constant format. And when this thing is successfully run, message get will return an ID value which you can use to send or receive messages. And you can say that creating the message queue is two parts. One uses the ftalk and the second one uses message get, right? So then you define this message type to 1. Again, these are many of the things you see in these two codes are like default values. Then you give a prompt to the user to enter some data or write some text, which is retrieved instead of scanf using fgets by the C program, and it is stored in this message text part of the struct message, which is accessed using message dot message text. The size is 10, which we want the user to enter. Then message send system call sends the message that you have stored using these two lines with this type, which is the text type, and you are giving the address of this struct message with these populated values to this system call message send. And which message queue you want to use? This one that you created using these two lines. So you have mentioned the message ID for this particular message queue, which also gives you an information that you can create multiple message queues in the same program. Only thing different will be that their message IDs will be different. So you have your message there, you have selected your particular message queue, and you are mentioning the size of the message using this function call, which returns the size of any complex data structure that you may have defined in your program or used in your program. Then you are using some default constants like 0 over here, and then you are printing that data is sent. So what is the data sent? You are mentioning over here message dot message text. So you are right now, this is only one sided. You have sent the data, but you don't know if it is received or it will be received or not. Now we go to the second program, which is an independent program. We call it message queue receive.c, in which we have some library files. We have the same struct message, because as I said, this is the requirement of message send and message receive system calls. to have the message in this particular format. Now you are again using these two lines, ftalk system call and message get system call, to with the same path name or program name and some random number, the same random number that you used over there, to generate a key, and then that key is generating the message ID. So this message ID that you generate through the same process will be the same message ID that you used in this program. So that is the only way to make sure that you are generating the same message ID, is that you use these things the same across the two programs, these two things, right? So once you do that, the message ID is there, and then that message ID is used in message receive system call. The struct message where we want to receive the message is mentioned in the second parameter, the second argument, and the message size is the same mentioned in the same way, some constants mentioning some parameter settings for the message receive system call. Like for example, this is going to be a blocking system call, and similarly, when all of these things are done, message is received, you print the received message using this line, and then you use the message control system call to destroy the message queue. So you can say that this is pretty standard way of and these are little tweaks that you can use to change the behavior of these system calls, and everything else must remain the same, because this is how the operating system designers want you to create the message queues or access the message queues, right? So you cannot change or alter the way you have to, if you really want to use the message queues. So you have to follow these ways. So these you always have to follow. So once done with this part, let's so now we'll need two terminal windows opened at the same time, right? So now let me run the receiver one first. So you see it's a blocking system call, and the message receive system call has stopped the program, the receiver program or the reader program at this point, and it is waiting for the message queue to become populated by another program. So I'm going to this part, and I'm going to run this program, which is the sender or the writer program. So it asks for data. So for example, if I write my name over here, I press enter. So my name is received on the receiver side, and you can see that I have used a different name that prog files, but I have used the same across the two cooperating processes.